Respected members and guests, I thank each and every one of you for being here. I'm very pleased to welcome you all to this webinar, Build Winning CV. CV selection is the first and one of the most important elements in the recruitment process. The average time taken by the recruiter to skim this CV is just 5 to 7 seconds. You see how crucial it is. We all wish to fix our CV right, and here's the opportunity to get guidelines on Build Winning CV. Our keynote speaker for today is Mr. Noor Ahmed Khan. He holds degree in mechanical engineering and MBA in human resource. He possesses senior professional HR international certification from US, MDP from IIM Ahmedabad. He is the trainer for Lean Six Sigma. He has more than 15 years of professional experience in various facets of human resource in industries like oil and gas, manufacturing, advertising, to name a few. He is also the corporate trainer and guest faculty for Management Institute in India. Currently, he is associated with Kuwait Oil Company. With his vast exposure and experience in HR, with confidence, I must say that he is the right person to guide us on Build Winning CV. Over to Mr. Noor Ahmed Khan. The screen is yours. Thank you.
Jazakallah khair, Wasim bhai, for that wonderful introduction. I don't know whether I am such a capable person or not. May Allah give in ikhlas in whatever we guys do. Jazakallah khair. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. I just want to check whether I'm audible and you can see my screen.
Yes, we can see your screen. Just if you can play the presentation.
Yeah, just a minute. I'll put it in presentation mode.
It's perfect now.
All right. Jazakallah khair. Alhamdulillah. Wassalatu wassalamu ala alihi wa ashabihi wa man wala. Subhanaka la ilma lana illa ma 'allamtana innaka antal alimul hakim. Glory to you. We have no knowledge except what you have taught us. Verily, it is you, the all-knower, the all-wise. Today, today's session, inshallah, we'll try to keep it a little interactive, so that you guys don't feel it's one hour long session. So just for me to know that you are here, I request you all to find where the chat button is. Just say ASAK, Assalamu alaikum. Just say ASAK, so that I know you guys are here. Mashallah, mashallah. Jazakallah khair. Yes, I can understand that there are very active participants in today's session, mashallah. So the first thing I would like to discuss with you is that Allah is the best provider. Okay, there is a beautiful hadith in At-Tirmidhi which says that if you had all relied on Allah as you should rely on Him, then He would provide, or He would be provided for you. Then He would have provided for you as He provides for the birds. You know, the birds who wake up hungry in the morning and return full stomach at the evening. All right. So we learn two things from this hadith. One thing, to have tawakkul on Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Second is, the birds have to move out of their nest. They cannot just wait there and expect that the food would come to them. Right. So I would like to congratulate you all that you guys are in the process of moving out of the nest, preparing the CV and going into the market to find a suitable job for yourself. right? So the risk has been decided by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, but he has left it for us to do some hard work and then get the risk which is meant for us, which is written for us. So there are these two gifts. One gift is very roughly packed, shabbily packed, and the other one is very beautifully packed. Which one would you choose? Which gift would you choose? Just put it on chat button. Gift 1 or gift 2? Most of you would choose 2. 2, gift 2. Yes, mashallah. A lot of responses I am getting. Alhamdulillah. All right. So all of you have said 2. 2. Okay. Why gift 2? I assume because it is beautifully packed and very well presented. Okay. Everybody has this assumption, and rightly so, maybe rightly or may not be the truth, but we assume that if something is packed beautifully, it is of something of great value. It is very expensive and it is valuable. Have you seen the diamond packed in a gift, and any stationery item, for example your clothes or your toothpaste? There's a difference between the package of both this, right? So something which is more valuable and expensive, it is packed in a very beautiful way. Generally it is said that don't judge the book by its cover, but people do judge. It's a human nature. No matter what you say, they will judge. Here the learning is you have to present yourself very well so that you are amongst the people who are shortlisted to be seen as valuable and expensive. You may be one of the greatest blessings to the organization. You may be the best thing which may happen to the organization. You may be very productive, efficient, but if your CV is not shortlisted, how will it help? Think about it. So would you like to take a chance of your career? This is why we have met over here. We have gathered here, that we make a CV, inshallah, in such a way that the employer is forced to read it. We make it so attractive. We cross the first step. We increase the visibility and make it more attractive. And inshallah, we cross the first step. Then you lead to the interview and so on. Right? So it's like a contract, the employer and employee. Even as much as an employee wants the right job, the employer also wants the right candidate. Okay, so you have to help the employer to show him that you are the right candidate if you are. So that is very important. Some important questions I would like to ask. If you want to sell a product, what would you do? Use a chat button. How would you market it? What are you going to do so that your product sells very well? Yes, benefit of the product, advertising, mashallah. Yes, advantages. You talk about it as advantages. Describe its properties, quality of the product. Yes. So you're going to convey all these things. Very right, mashallah. So now my second question is, what will you do if you want to sell yourself in a positive way? Sell yourself as a candidate. How would you sell yourself as a candidate? Ensure that the customer, that the product is fit for the use, creating a need. How I am different from others. Present yourself, mashallah. Very nice responses are coming in. So you have to sell yourself, you have to present your skills, you have to present in the best possible way. Okay, you have seen the ad in the TV at the prime time for every second you are charged bomb, you are charged a huge amount of money. So every second, every word it is said in the ad, in the TV ad, a person has to be very careful of the choice of words he is using, because he will be charged for every single second, isn't it? In the similar way, you have to choose the right words in your CV so that the employer chooses you. That's how you sell yourself as a candidate. And what are you selling? Can we have quick response? What are we selling to the employer? How I can present myself as a best fit? We are selling ourselves. Okay, our skills, mashallah. Farhan Thakur. What are we selling more? Our experiences, mashallah. Farhan. Very nice. Rehan is saying our capabilities. You're absolutely right. Requirement of the company. That means you need us. We are sharing our knowledge. Maisha, Gufran, our quality time. Jazakallah khair. Very nice inputs. Okay. So basically we are selling our education, our qualification, our skills, our experience, our capabilities, our qualities, all these things, soft and technical skills, mashallah. These are some of the things we are trying to sell. Okay. So if you ask me what is the definition of a CV, what is the definition of a professional CV, this is precisely what we discussed just now. A curriculum vitae or a CV is a professional document that summarizes your work history, education, and skills. The main purpose of the CV is to sell yourself as a candidate to the prospective employer. Make sense? So if you are with me till here, please put a thumbs up or just say yes in the chat button. Mashallah, I like this crowd. They are very interactive. Farhan, yes, yes, yes. Misbah, Ilyas, Jazakallah khair. I got good inputs. So in order to get, everybody wants a good job, isn't it? So everyone in this life, all the people in the professional life want a great job. If you make a great CV, you will be called for an interview. And if you perform a great interview, you will get a job. All right. If you miss the first step, you cannot reach the last one. So in order to go to the second step, you have to get the first step right. Okay. So a great CV is a first step. Say, for example, at an average, there are 250 applicants. There are so many applications which are coming for a single job. So out of which 5 people are called only for the interview. Only 5 people are called for the interview. It's like less than, it's about 2% people of the people are called for the interview. In all the likelihood, if you don't know how to make a great CV, in all the likelihood, you will be amongst that 98% who are screened out. So what are some of the right things which we need to do so that we are amongst this 5 people or this 2% of the people who are called for the interview? And maybe in the subsequent sessions, we could look at what, how do we face interviews? What are some of the frequently asked questions? How do we handle difficult questions? What is the best method of as a presenting yourself, and all so on. So the first step is getting selected, shortlisted as a CV. Anybody knows what ATS means? ATS. Everyone should know. What is this ATS? You know, as a candidate, as an employee, as a seeker of job, you should know this terminology. This ATS stands for Applicant Tracking System. Applicant Tracking System. Okay. About 98% of the Fortune 500 companies use ATS to screen their CVs. So this is a software application, applicant tracking system or applicant tracking software. What it does is it checks for the keywords, what are there in the CV and what they want. the requirement, the job description is what they want, and the system automatically checks if those keywords are present in your CV or not. If they are present, if there are 10 keywords, your CV has all those 10 keywords, your CV will be at the top, right? You will be shortlisted by the system. So if there are 9, then you will be next. If there are 8, then will be next matches. All right. So you need to know this. And there are methods to find out how do you make a CV which is ATS friendly. Okay, who does the screening? ATS does the screening. And in conventional organization, a junior person does the screening. Okay, it's not the recruitment manager or the head of the HR or anything. A junior person does that. And as Wasim Bhai said, it takes about at an average 6 seconds for a person to screen your CV. So you have only 6 seconds to impress the employer to this junior person who is screening the short CVs, right? You have only 6 seconds. So in this 6 seconds, if your CV seems to be impressive, attractive, he will select it. Otherwise, he'll play safe and he will reject it. All right, we are going to discuss this format. In any CV, you know, there is no standard method as such, but more or less, these are the things which have to be covered in this particular manner and sequence. We'll look at the sequence as well. Okay, so contact information, which is the most essential thing, the summary, work experience, education, skill, and additional sections. Okay, this is how it looks like. And if you see on the CV, this is the format, how it looks like. First one on the right hand side top corner is a contact information. On the left hand side top corner is a summary, the objective. And just below that is the third one, which is the work experience, which is given in different sections and, you know, years and company and the designation of the person and bullet points. And just note this, there's a key achievements given also. Key achievements are also given there. Under each job, under each company, what he has achieved is also mentioned. Just under the third number is a fourth one, education. In short, about education is mentioned. On your right hand side, middle part, the skills are mentioned. Okay, we'll discuss about each of this slightly later. The last part is the additional sections. Okay, so here you can put something which is relevant to your job. Okay, let's talk about the first part. I would like to do a quiz with you. Okay, in the contact section, in the first part, there are let me know if these items are necessary or not. Are they necessary or not, or optional, or we should not put, or we should avoid? Okay, I'm going to ask you this first thing, name. Is it necessary to put? Yes, no, maybe, option, optional, yes, 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 mashallah, very good. Yes. Second question, title, like doctor, advocate, and so on. Titles are you want to put or not? Okay, somebody said optional. No, no, people are saying yes, no. There's a mixed kind of reaction. It's optional. Okay, unless you have a title which you want to highlight and which is a requirement of the job, you can put this. It's an optional thing. Third thing, postal address. Yes or no? Postal address. Somebody, yes, 3 yeses I got. Optional, no. Mohammed Parvez says no. People say optional. Afik says yes. Gufran says no, no. All right. So majority are saying no. Some of you are saying yes, and very few optional. Okay. Putting postal address is a problematic thing. You know, nowadays they are not going to send you postcards, you know, by sharing that you have been called for an interview, or you have been called for this is the result of the interview. They don't send any more postcard. Email ID is good enough. Yes, Mohammed Parvez has mentioned it here, because you will be contacted through email. Okay, so you need not put the postal address in very specific cases where the employer may want to know he will specify that whether they want to hire local candidates. Yeah, so they ask, you stay in this particular area. That has very specific reasons for that. Mobile number, tell me, yes, no? All right, so unanimous answer is yes, absolutely right. Email address, yes, 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 absolutely right. What about LinkedIn URL? LinkedIn URL, yes, yes, yes. Optional, optional, yes, yes, optional. All right, it is recommended to put LinkedIn profile. It's recommended, right? It's a yes, and it's recommended. You show that it's a professional networking site. You show your presence, your virtual presence, and in that you need to show a lot of things, that you have written articles, publications, how active you are, participating in meaningful discussions, and so on. Social media, do you need to mention your handles, social media? No, 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 no. A lot of people are saying no. Almost everyone is saying no, not necessary. All right, it's optional. Sometimes you are in a field, you are in a profession where it is related to designers, or you are an IT contributor. You want to display your social media handle, right? And in that case, yes. Okay, what about blogs and websites? These are very specific cases. All right, social media specific case, blogs and websites are also specific cases. It's optional. Okay, so if you have some relevant website to the job, relevant portfolio you want to share, relevant blog you want to share, so this is a place for you to show off. All right, so this is what can be done. So we have discussed about the contact details. Second one, what we're going to talk about is the summary. Okay, summary, it should be short. You need to highlight the relevant experience, professional accomplishments, and skills. Okay, so it's like career condensed in few lines. A person who reads your summary, he should be motivated to read more, and then he goes on to the other sections. So it has to be very attractive. In few sentences, you have to convey a lot of things, and you have to show that it's a perfect match with the job description. With the summary itself, he should come to know that, all right, this is the candidate we were looking for. This is the job description, and this is what we wanted. All right, so it describes the strong character. We are looking at how to write a summary. So you need to describe strong character traits in few words. Mention current job title and experience. So in that summary, you say that I have got 10 years of I have been general manager with 10 years of progressive experience, and so on. Yeah, can help employer achieve their goals. So in that summary, you should say that this is where I can come in, this is where I can contribute, this is where you will benefit if you take me. Add your key tangible achievements. So you have increased the the sales by this much %, or you have reduced the cycle time by this. Put some numbers, some statistics, some tangible, some percentage, some ratings, some tangible things you need to put in. Okay, so you have to summarize in only 3 to 5 sentences. Okay, this should not look like a big in a huge paragraph. You can use bullet points also, you can use small paragraph also. 3 to 5 sentences you need to explain what it means. Okay, tell them what you are and not what you want to be. So don't over promise in the summary. Okay, don't say that I can increase the market share of your company and I can do great things. All right, so here are the examples of summary. I'm just going to read out maybe one in the interest of time. Say the last one, or let's say the detailed oriented civil engineer and PE with 5 years of experience and a zest for solving complex problems and seeking a seeking to use proven project management and design skills. Okay, you just notice the highlighted ones are conveying a very strong message to the person to improve quality, cost, and time metric for NEP engineering. Yeah, this is a company he may want to target. So these are some of the sample objectives what one could write, but you have to customize it to your requirement. But what you need to write is the title, the experience, the skills you have, and your achievements, what you have achieved, and your interest to show that, and how the company can benefit from you. In the experience part, we are moving on to the third part, the work experience. Okay, so what happens in work experience is, if you've got lot of experience beyond 15 years, so you just mention about the 15 years of experience in short, and the other ones you can just briefly in one or two statements you can complete it. Okay, if they are not relevant to the job. So it has to be legible and uniform template. Okay, it has to be in the reverse chronological order, meaning the latest job should come at the top. Okay, latest education should come on the top. It's a reverse chronological order. So job title, you need to mention you are a engineer, a project manager, and whatever it is. The company name, the date worked, how many years you have worked for, you can mention that. So use bullet points, maybe 5 bullet points or 6 bullet points at max. You need to use that, and mention your key achievement. Okay, so mention your key achievement, the percentage of waste reduction, percentage of increase in sales, or you have been identified as the performer of the year for so many times, whatever it is. So highlight this. So this is how your experience should look like. It has to be very short and crisp. Okay, so highlight your achievement. This should be more than just your duties and responsibilities. So why should I hire you? Because experience is the most important part in your CV. That should clearly define why I should hire you. All right. So put your work experience session on the right spot. My question to you is, if you are a fresher, where will you put your, you have very less work experience. So you'll put your education at the top, because that is what you are selling. That is your selling point. That is your USP or selling point. If you have experience, the experience will go up. The minute you have experience for few years, your education will go back. Okay. So tell them what they like to hear and not what you like to say. All right, coming to education. I want you to tell me whether you mention your 10th and 12th marks in your education. Yes, no. Please respond. Yes, yes, yes. No, no, no. Okay. Yes, if fresher. Mashallah. All right. So what about marks and grades? You will put in your marks. No. No. Yes. Year of passing. Yes, yes, yes. Most of you are saying yes, yes, maybe. All right. So as some marks only if it is impressive, mashallah. Okay, if scored good marks, then yes. All right. So you have got the idea over here. Okay. If you are a fresher, you don't have much to put, so you may put your 10th and 12th also. But if you are a graduate and you have few years of experience, you need not put that. And marks and grade would also not matter if you have good years of experience. Okay. Year of passing yes, you may need this year of passing for most of them. Okay, so grades and marks, if they are not impressive, you can just skip that. You can avoid it. Yeah, so if they insist, if they ask, especially in the case of freshers, they will ask definitely. If they ask, then you can share it. All right, so this is how you can, you know, play, at the same time not lie. Okay, never lie in CV, outside, anywhere. All right, so this question I have already asked you. So if you are a fresher or just few years of experience, education is what you will sell more. Then the minute you got, say, 3 years, 5 years of experience, the education, you need to pick up that box and straight away put it down. All right, I'm coming to that question, Abdul Wahab, that how do we manage if there is an education gap? Okay, so yeah, experience coursework. You can, if you have taken up some, all right, we'll take it up in the question answer session, inshallah. Okay, so how do we put it in the CV? Example, IIT Mumbai BE mechanical in 2000. Instead of writing the complete thing, completed IIT from Mumbai, you need not say all those things. Bachelor of Engineering or BA, Bachelor of Arts, just say BA mechanical. Okay, 2019, passed out in, completed in 2009. You need not write that. So in short, this is very well understood. So this is an example how you can put it up there. Talking about the next section, which is the skills. The skills can be divided into multiple subsections, like personal soft skills, management skills. You have led a team, and you have a you have been a project manager, and all those things are management skills. Organizing, coordinating, planning, all those things could be a part of management skills. Technical skills, these are the core technical skills. IT skills, some of the jobs require, irrespective of which position, which this thing, they require IT skills, right? So you need to be aware of that, and you need to insert those things. And if there are any additional skills, okay, additional skills, you should not say, I know scuba diving, I can do kite flying and all those things, but skills which are relevant to the prospective job, you need to mention about that. All right, so this is what it's saying: include only relevant skills and avoid generic skills. Okay, don't just copy and paste from the internet, because interviewers, they have seen this CVs day in and day out, hundreds of CVs. They can easily tell you whether you have copy pasted or you have written it genuinely. Okay, so include the proficiency level. What do I mean by proficiency level? Skills, to what extent do you know? All right, look at this example. There are soft skills and hard skills. Emotional intelligence, high. Communication, expert. Problem solving, organizing, persuasion. Okay, you have put all this thing as high. Sometimes there is a problem with this also, that you don't have anything to back up with. If you put too many soft skills, there has to be a justification. You will be asked questions on this. Okay, so pick up one or two or maximum three skills which are relevant for the job, and if asked during the interview, you have to be ready with an example where you have represented, shown, exhibited emotional intelligence, where you have exhibited problem solving. Yeah, so these things have to be done. Hard skills, this for the HR job: recruiting, interviewing, onboarding, employee relation, at a different degree, different expertise level. Okay, languages, Spanish, Arabic, French. So that could be said, you're fluent, not fluent, intermediate, learner, and so on. Okay, so tangibilize your soft skills with statistics and numbers. Yeah, give some examples. So you need to learn to tangibilize a lot of things. People in service, IT, there are ways to tangibilize things also. HR, maybe in services, people have to tangibilize by saying that we have been rated as this much in an employee survey. These are some of the ways you can tangibilize that, or it reduced the iteration, and so on. Right. So additional sections will have rewards and honors which you have got, which are related to the job description. You need to include that. Volunteer work, certifications and licenses, projects, hobbies and interests which match with this. Okay. Qualifications and courses, extracurricular activities if you are a fresher, any other accomplishments, associations you have been associated with, American Safety Society or Safety Club or something like that. So publications, what have you written on that? Have you done any research? You can mention about that. Languages, okay. Training and conferences you have attended which are related to the job, so that could be mentioned. Okay, each statement you put, okay, just don't try to fill the CV, but each statement put or word put in the CV should help you get closer to the job. Okay, you need to remember that. And during the interview also, everything you say, it is an opportunity for you to express yourself and get closer to the job. In the CV also, remember that ad at the prime time on the TV which you are putting, so every second counts, every word you use, the CV has to be loaded, right? It should, in short, it should convey a lot of message, right? These are some of the sample CVs. I'm just giving you a broad idea about how the CV should look like. Here, if you see on the left hand side, though he has done some sections, but on the right hand side, doesn't it look more systematic, more organized, and a proper utilization of space? Yes, no, please respond. Right side looks more systematic, more attractive than the left side. Yes. Yes, Jazakallah khair. Getting a lot of yeses. Okay, look at this, some of these CVs. Okay, here he has given some postal address. Maybe there was a requirement, or ideally one is not supposed to, one can avoid that. Okay, so you can use some decent colors. Yeah, don't use too much, too jazzy colors. These are some of the examples of CVs. These are one page CVs. Okay, a lot of people ask me what should be the length of the CV. What do you think should be the length of the CV? 1 page, 2 page, 3 pages, 5 pages? What should be the ideal length? 1 or maximum 2? 1, maximum 2, maximum 2, 1. All right. So you got it right, mashallah. Yeah, yeah. So you have too many things to say. You can go to 2. So it should not be more than 2. 5 to 10 pages CVs, 2 pages resume. Okay. So he's trying to, Abdul Wahid is trying to say the difference between CV and resume. All right. CV could be more comprehensive if it is an academic CV. Resumes are very short. It's just a summary. That's right. But for a job, generally it is interchangeably used. You know, CVs and resumes are interchangeably used, the word. So it should not be more than 2 pages ideally. Okay. If there is a need, if the employer is asking for more information, yes, you can include one more page. Right. So that's great. So in 7 seconds, one has to impress. That's right. This is how it looks like. Okay, there's another few more examples over here. Right. Okay. So how should we format the CV? The spacing has to be 1.15 line. Margin has to be 1 inch from all the 4 sides. Okay, the font size should be 11 to 12 points. The heading could be slightly better. Yes, Faraz, I'm going to answer that question. Should we put photo in the CV or not? Very good question. Okay, we have 2 questions parked. We have flagged it off. Inshallah, we'll answer that. Okay, font style should be a standard font style, very professional font style, which could be Times Roman, Calibri, Arial, Vardhana. Okay, you can use this. CV header for your contact details. Your name and contact details should be highlighted. Okay, so the first thing he would look for is your name and immediately contact details. Okay, so you need to make it very prominent. Divide your resume into legible sections. Okay, like we discussed today about the contact information, summary, work experience, education, skills, and additional sections, right? So use bullet points for your experience. When you're sharing your experience, generally we tend to write long paragraphs, and that's the reason why CV goes into 3-4 pages. Okay, so try to use bullet points, and the interviewer will definitely understand what you're trying to convey. Okay, be consistent with your resume formatting. Okay, so you need to be very consistent, the kind of numbers you're using, font size, style you're using, colors you're using. So it has to be consistent. It should not look like you have picked up from different places and put it here. Okay, towards the end, you know, there's a very good analogy which I came across. The analogy is, you have done everything right in when you build a house, you have put the electric connections properly, proper wiring has been done, proper switches have been put, right? And everything has been done very well. But if you don't have the source, power source switched on, you will not have lights. Okay, so we need to connect with the superpower, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, then everything will work well, inshallah. If you are looking for halal risk, a risk which will benefit you in this world as well as in the hereafter, you need to have and develop a very strong connection with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to eliminate the lights of your life and risk, inshallah. Jazakallah khair. That's about it, and I want to take up those questions which people have asked, inshallah. Okay, starting with the first question. Meanwhile, if you have more questions, please post it in here. Okay, so the first question which was asked, I'm just trying to find out what that question was. Can you just repeat that question? Someone, the first question who... Okay, education gap. Jazakallah khair. So what do we do if we have education gap? Okay, if what do we do if we have an education gap? If you have education gap, you can show uh, uh, some courses if you have done. Basically, the interviewer wants to know how you have utilized the gaps, be it in education or be it in the work, be it in education or be it in work. So he wants to know how did you utilize that. And even before he asks, you can give a justification in the CV itself. Okay, the first step could be try to avoid, if you have enough experience, you can just skip the year when you have passed out. You can just mention you have done engineering and after that you have done this. You can just skip it. If he asks, if he insists, if you have less years of experience, he wants to find out how you have utilized that time by doing some course, some business, some part-time job, and so on. So you can mention any of those things. All right. So the second question is the photograph in the CV. Do we need to put the photograph in the CV? It depends on what kind of job are you looking for. In general, if you ask me, photographs are not required. You are not supposed to put. But if you are a front end, you know, front end or service person, officer, representative, then it is a good idea to put a photograph. Okay, but in general, you are not supposed to put a photograph. It's actually not a dating document, you know. So if you are an actor or a model or you know, a front end person where uh, people would like to see you and interact with you, like in tourism, in hotel industries, in airlines, and so on, in that case photographs may be required. Okay, so that is the answer for the second question. Should adding references make any difference? It doesn't make any difference. Okay, and some people also say that uh, you know, if you require any references, I'll be happy to share with you. Need not put that. If he requires, he'll anyways ask you. Okay, so it is very obvious, so you can avoid and keep some space for doing something useful things. Okay, can you please share a sample ATS compatible format for both fresher and experienced people? Okay, the ATS compatible format is quite simple. I would like to tell you what to do in a stepwise process. ATS compatible format, what you need to do is, if you want to find out whether your CV will pass in ATS or not, how to pass the ATS scan. Okay, and how does it work? So what you have to do is place your contact details on the top of the resume and your name clearly. Okay, avoid uh, fancy graphics. Don't put pictures, put words. Text has to be there. Okay, don't put graphics in which the text and words are there. Okay, so avoid those fancy graphics. Save your resume in PDF format so that it doesn't change, it does not get disturbed. Okay, once you save it, copy the content from the PDF format and paste it on a text, you know, TXT text editor or you know, notepad. You can just put the text there and see if the texts are scrambled or the texts are not making any sense. Then you can understand that the words you have used is scannable. Okay, the keywords which you have used is scannable. This test is to check whether the ATS system can pick up words from your uh, CV or not, whether the words are readable or not, whether they are scannable or not. Okay, so this is a very simple method to pass the ATS test. All right, scanning test. How to manage gap in education? Yes, we have answered that. How to put keywords for better response? Yes, mashallah, very nice question. So what you could do is go to any job portal and just as if you are searching for a job, you put some sales there and you get a lot of job descriptions. So from those job descriptions, you can find out all the relevant keywords, maybe channel sales or marketing or in sales, in store, visual merchandising, is all related stuff you will get. So you pick up all those things and you can put it in your CV, whichever is relevant to you. Right, whichever is relevant to you. If I put human resource or if I put safety, right, it should give you all the relevant terms. You pick up those words and whichever is applicable for you, whichever is closest to your profile, you can add those terminologies. Okay. Assalamu alaikum, Noor bhai. I am an IT project manager working in Bangalore. What is the best way to find IT jobs in Middle East? Please advise. All right. In Middle East, there are a lot of websites which are specific to Middle East. Specific to Middle East, you can probably try from there. And in Middle East, a lot of references also matter a lot. So you need to establish connection with your friends and colleagues who work over here. And another good method is LinkedIn. LinkedIn has been a very useful method for project for higher positions. headhunting and higher positions. LinkedIn is a very efficient method. You could look at that, and uh, maybe you can go to their, whichever companies you are targeting, you can go to their websites and try to get in touch with the HR team members through LinkedIn or other sources. Try to find out what best can be done, right? Next, should there be a covering letter, and what should be included in it? uh, Covering letter, I'm actually not so fond of covering letter, because what I feel is we are adding on the time, so in short, we have to convey. If the CV conveys everything, why do we need covering letter? We need to ask ourselves, does the recruiting manager has time to even go through the covering letter, right? So I feel others may have other opinion, but covering letter should be avoided. You need to keep it as crisp as possible. We have to help the recruiter to help us. We have to help him to come to decision very quickly. So that's what I think. Is there anywhere we can scan our CV and know if our CV is good for ATS? I just shared that method, uh, that this is how it is done. The scanning is done. If it is in Word format and the words are easily scannable, okay, just try to put as many keywords related to your job, as many as possible, so your chances of getting selected, shortlisted is pretty high. Okay, so keywords is a keyword. All right, so you need to be aware of the keywords related to your profile. So how important is to declare the information at the end of the resume? How important is it to declare information at the end of resume? I quite didn't get the question. Declare information meaning uh, your references or something. I need more clarity on this question. One more excellent program from Noor Ahmed Khan Sahab. Jazakallah khair, brother. Jazakallah khair, Mohammed Khaja. Wasim Bhai asking, should CV be supported with covering letter? Yeah, we just answered that question. Sometimes we work with some company and after years of experience, there is no improvement in position. How to handle? That is, you started the job as an executive, then manager, later on you joined an executive after 10 years. You are still in sales, still a sales executive. You have got exposure to work as GM, but your position is still executive. All right. Uh, in India, in MNCs, in various MNCs and in Western countries, they value the position, where you're coming from. Generally, in Middle East, what I've seen is they don't have fancy designations. They don't give you very high positions. The high positions are reserved for the local people. Okay, so if you think your requirements are met with the salary and the kind of job and the comfort and the lifestyle over here, you can go ahead with that. But if you are still in the process of learning more, if you value the positions and designations, you may have to look for jobs which are multinational companies, where they give you not only positions, the responsibilities which are which will commensurate to that position and your expertise, right? So this is how it works. You need to prioritize what you want. Sometimes people say that I don't care what position they give me, but if they give me a decent decent job and decent salary, things are absolutely fine. right? Some people say, I want great positions, even though my salary is not that great, but I would like to have a great position because whatever I have learned, I want to put that to use. So that is also absolutely fine. So it depends on the company to company, what they look for and what they value the most. Best online resume maker, I suggest not to go for online resume maker. You just download, go to a couple of sites, or just Google out templates, CV templates, CV formats. You'll get amazing CV formats. So you can just pick up anything and customize it for yourself. Okay. I have seen a lot of people who came to me, they have got the resumes done from the professionals and from the monster and this, that and all, but they have done a lousy job because they don't know what exactly you do. They don't know, they can just give you a generic information. So you will be the best person to modify your CV, put colors into it, put graphics into it, put relevant things into it. All you need to learn is just the format. And I think Microsoft Word and other basic OS also has templates with them. You can use any of those. Should we place abbreviations or enlarged form? Okay, you should not use abbreviations. uh, you know People may not know what you exactly mean, so abbreviations should not be avoided, should be avoided, unless if it is a very obvious uh, abbreviation which everybody knows, even people from other field. There are finance abbreviations which the other people may not know, the HR person may not know, right? There are HSC abbreviations which the HR or the finance or the operation person may not know. So in that case, if you are addressing the CV to different kind of audiences, you need to elaborate that. If the abbreviation is common for all, which everybody knows about it, like CV, everybody knows about it, right? Like QA, QC, everyone may know about it. But NDT or something like that, people may not know. Yeah, so you need to be careful on that, especially the keywords. Keywords may not catch that. Declaration that all data is correct. You need not ask this, Rubia. So you are expected to put the right data only. Okay, the minute you put anything there, it has to be a right data. Okay, it is Islamically wrong, ethically, morally, in all the aspect, it is wrong. You should, whatever you put there, you will be held accountable for held accountable, as in they expect you to put correct information. In this session available, is this session available in any website so that we can share those who have not attended? So you may have to contact Wasim Bhai if he has recorded this, that could be shared. I mean,
Inshallah, it will be available on YouTube on Maxwell Alumni channel.
Jazakallah khair, Wasim Bhai. I mean, I hereby declare that this information is best to my knowledge, etc. and all. So you need not put this. Okay, whatever you put, it has to be correct and best to your knowledge. I am in petroleum engineering final year. I run a group of Muslim petroleum professionals of India. We have about 100 experienced professionals from Schlumberger and different companies, are Indian companies, and freshers too. It would be great. Uh, it would be great if you could refer some of my group members in KOC. Thank you. May Allah reward. All the best. Uh, Yes, if there are some openings, um, last time I had shared a few openings with Wasim Bhai. Um, these are the openings which are there. KOC is looking for. So if something of that sort comes up, inshallah, you be in touch with Wasim Bhai. I could share that with him. Yeah. Wasim Bhai's message: all members, please participate online polling to end the session. Okay. Farhan, sometimes we are undervalued because of our current position. How to handle that? Okay, during the interview, you need to impress. You need to tell that you are able to handle job which is of higher position also, and in the discussion you will have to show that expertise. You will have to show that you know things which your boss or the position which is higher to you can handle that. Right? So this could be done by way of talking, by way of some certification, some softwares. If you have done that, could be shown over there. You could do that, you know, during the interviews. So one cannot show it without talking, or without you know, the person experiencing it, the person in front of you experiencing it. Okay, due to time factor. Okay, Wasim bhai, you can tell me whenever you want to stop. I think the time is up just now.
Maybe 5 more minutes.
Yeah. Somebody is asking for contact details. I'll share it. Wasim bhai has it. He can give it to you. Jazakallah khair, Noor bhai. Informative session. Jazakallah khair, brothers. Useful session. Jazakallah khair. Please advise if there is any additional course for getting opportunities in Gulf countries. Uh, Definitely additional courses. It depends on which field you are in. In each of your field, you look at what is the most advanced technology. You need to look at that. You are a mechanical engineer, so you need to look at what are some of the things related, latest things in mechanical engineering. Okay, in general, if you want me to give a blanket statement, the things are everything related to artificial intelligence, yeah, machine learning. These are the technologies which are the future technologies. Okay, so all the jobs, no matter which field you are in, be it in HR, engineering, finance, and all those things, will be touched by artificial intelligence. Okay, so in future, uh, maybe 75% of the jobs will be done by this artificial intelligence. Okay, so learn this new technology. Okay, all this routine, repetitive kind of jobs will be replaced. It will be replaced by automation. Learn about that. Learn about robotics. Learn about big data. These are some of the things which will definitely help you. This is the way ahead, right? In whichever field you are in, learn what is the latest thing happening in that. What is the new technology which is coming in there? Okay, so in general, that is what I could say. Jazakallah khair, brothers. I really enjoyed speaking to you, talking to you. Wasim bhai has given a vote, voting.
He has shared the result also. Excellent 86%. Great.
Alhamdulillah.
MashaAllah.
Alhamdulillah. Jazakallah khair.
Thank you, sir, for sharing the result.
Jazakallah khair. Whatever is good is from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And whatever mistakes I have done, these are my mistakes. May Allah forgive me. Okay, while the results are going on, there are a few more questions I could take. How about opportunities in training and development areas? In in Middle East, there's no much emphasis on training and development, Rubia. But if you go for other countries, maybe Western countries or other European countries, they give good emphasis for training and development. Okay, if you want to do anything in HR in Middle East, they are more focused on recruitment, onboarding, you know, people manpower planning, and so on. A little bit of training is there. Okay, so training, I think different countries here, what they do is they take experienced people and they just plug them and play. All right, so they don't give much emphasis on training and development in Middle East. I'm talking about. We have so many MEP engineers and HVSC engineers. Can you recommend companies? Inshallah, I will send some CVs. All right. Actually, brothers, frankly speaking, right now I'm not handling the recruitment profile. My profile is slightly different, so I don't have direct openings with me. Okay, whatever I come to know through my references to my other HR colleagues, I share it. Okay, so we maybe something which is coming up in Middle East, I could share that in some groups. Then you can circulate it in the other areas. Is doing Arabic and doing a hybrid course a plus point for getting jobs in Gulf? It depends. Where are you looking for a job? In the ministry, as a translator, where Arabic is mandatory. Yes, it will be an added advantage to do Arabic here. It will be a plus point in getting a job, right? Like in Arabic schools, you may want to be there, or in government offices, right? So in translating from other languages to Arabic. So these are some of the job opportunities one could think of. In general, in other jobs, general jobs, Arabic is not so important. People manage with English, and the Arabs also have they speak good English nowadays. But knowing Arabic is always good. You understand the kalam of Allah, and you can also converse with others. Definitely, you will have some advantage.
Okay, Noor Sahab, Jazakallah
Yes.
khair.
Jazakallah khair. Jazakallah khair.
We are with the time now.
Yeah.
Brother Rehan, can you conclude with the vote of thanks, please?
Yes. I heartily thank all the participants for joining and making this webinar a success. I thank our speaker, Noor Ahmed Khan Sahab, for accepting our invitation and providing valuable insights on how to build a winning CV in facing the interviews. There is a famous saying, the first impression is last impression, and we never get second chance to make the first impression. There are several questions that comes in our mind while applying for a job, and definitely these techniques which you have taught, sir, these techniques will play a very crucial role for getting the desired jobs. The main takeaway from this session is, sir, we will be able to prepare our CV in such a professional way, like we will be able to get desired job, definitely, inshallah. And the beauty of this session was there are many things you taught, and remaining things are covered in a question answer session. And the questions were, most of questions were common with all of us. So this session was really knowledgeable, and this is really, this session will definitely will help us to structure our CV professionally. Through this session, we came to know that we have to upgrade our CV as you explained in the session, and definitely those points to be followed, sir. Thank you so much once again. Thank you, one and all.
Thank you, my pleasure. Thank you, everyone.
Jazakallah khair, brother Noor Saab.
Jazakallah khair. Jazakallah khair.
Great to see you again. Okay.
Alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah.
God
And
bless you.
Jazakallah khair, all the people who are giving a lot of good encouraging words. Yeah, Abdul Wahed,